Canada's resilience, then and now, a testament to independence. For centuries, Canada has stood as a proud, independent nation, weathering external challenges and forging its identity on the principles of resilience, innovation, and cooperation. Today, as discussions surrounding economic interdependence and political power dynamics between Canada and the United States dominate the headlines, it's crucial to remind the world, and our southern neighbors, why Canada can, and will, stand on its own. The War of 1812, defending our sovereignty. Canada's resolve was tested early during the War of 1812, a pivotal chapter in North American history. The United States, seeking to expand its borders and assert dominance, launched an ambitious invasion of British North America. What followed was a stunning display of unity and determination from Canadian forces, Indigenous allies, and British troops, all banding together to preserve the sovereignty of this land. Halifax Harbour, a strategic maritime hub, became a symbol of resistance and resilience. More than a bustling port, it was a lifeline for supplies, strategy, and hope. During the war, American prisoners of war were confined on islands within the harbor, their presence serving as a stark reminder of the conflict's reach and the high stakes of defiance. The sight of these islands today stands as a testament to Canada's unwillingness to yield and its readiness to defend its independence. Across Upper and Lower Canada, local militias, often outnumbered and outgunned, achieved decisive victories through sheer determination and ingenuity. The Battle of Queenston Heights was one such defining moment. Major General Isaac Brock and his forces valiantly thwarted American advances. Brock's sacrifice on the battlefield not only preserved Canadian territory but also became a rallying cry for unity and resilience. These battles were not mere skirmishes over land, they were struggles to define Canada's identity, a people willing to sacrifice for their freedom, unwilling to compromise their values, even in the face of overwhelming odds. The unsung heroes, Indigenous alliances. The War of 1812 also highlighted the crucial role of Indigenous allies in preserving Canada's sovereignty. Nations such as the Haudenosaunee, Shawnee, and Ojibwe formed vital alliances, understanding that their fates were tied to the outcome of this conflict. Leaders like Tecumseh stood not just as warriors but as symbols of resistance, their contributions pivotal in shaping Canada's survival and its values of cooperation and respect for diverse voices. The sacrifices and strategies of these Indigenous allies weren't just acts of courage but essential components of the larger struggle for freedom and identity. Their role serves as a reminder of Canada's historic and ongoing responsibility to honor these partnerships, ensuring that the narratives of Indigenous resilience and leadership remain central to our national story. Economic sovereignty in the modern era. Fast forward to today, and Canada finds itself once again at the crossroads of external pressures and internal resilience. Economic interdependence with the United States has long been a cornerstone of bilateral relations. Yet, recent developments, threats of tariffs, energy dependencies, and heated political rhetoric have underscored the urgency of asserting economic independence. Consider the looming potential of a 25% tariff on Canadian imports into the U.S., justified by claims of border security and migration concerns. Such a move could destabilize trade relationships and create economic ripples on both sides of the border. Canada's leaders, however, have responded with calm assurance. Finance Minister Dominic LeBlanc's confidence in Canada's fiscal capacity to weather such storms isn't mere bravado, it reflects decades of strategic planning, economic diversification, and resourceful governance. The reality is that Canada's natural resources, particularly oil and gas from provinces like Alberta, are integral to the U.S. economy. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith highlighted this truth succinctly, stating that Canadian raw materials are not just commodities, they are lifelines for American jobs and industries. The interconnectedness of our economies underscores that any attempt to disrupt this partnership would harm both nations. Yet, Canada's ability to pivot toward other trading partners and adapt its strategies ensures that our independence remains intact. Canada's economic strength lies not just in its natural resources but in its innovation, from the burgeoning tech sectors in Vancouver and Toronto to groundbreaking research in green energy and healthcare. By investing in these areas, Canada continues to assert itself as a leader in sustainable development and a vital partner in global markets. The border debate and sovereignty. The rhetoric surrounding border security has reignited debates about Canada's autonomy. With a $1.3 billion investment in enhancing border infrastructure, Canada has demonstrated its commitment to addressing shared concerns without compromising its independence. This proactive approach sharply contrasts with caricatures that paint Canada as overly reliant on U.S. goodwill. Historically, Canada has managed its borders effectively, balancing humanitarian principles with security needs. This delicate equilibrium reflects our nation's values and capabilities. Canada is not a subsidiary of the United States. We are a partner that brings unique strengths, insights, and innovations to the table. Canada's approach to border management has also been emblematic of its values of inclusion and compassion. From welcoming refugees fleeing conflict zones to fostering trade relationships that benefit both small businesses and multinational corporations, Canada's border policies demonstrate a commitment to both security and shared prosperity. Rejecting the notion of the 51st state. Recent U.S. political rhetoric has trivialized Canadian sovereignty, with some labeling us the great state of Canada. This perspective fundamentally misunderstands Canada's distinct cultural identity, legal framework, and democratic institutions. From our universal healthcare system and forward-thinking environmental policies to our commitment to multiculturalism and global leadership in human rights, Canada embodies a vision of progress that often contrasts with American priorities. Canada's global contributions, peacekeeping missions, climate action initiatives, and the championing of human rights underscore our ability to act independently and effectively. The notion of assimilation into the U.S. as a 51st state is not only unappealing but incompatible with Canada's ethos and values. Learning from history to shape the future. The War of 1812 taught Canada a critical lesson: independence is not granted but earned and vigilantly protected. Today, as we navigate complex economic and political challenges, that lesson resonates more than ever. Our history of resilience, from the battlefields of 1812 to modern trade negotiations, reminds us that we are capable of charting our course, no matter the odds. The current tensions surrounding tariffs and border policies are not insurmountable obstacles. They are opportunities for Canada to reaffirm its strength, adaptability, and self-reliance. By investing in innovation, diversifying trade relationships, and standing firm in our principles, Canada can thrive in a global landscape that often feels uncertain. The resilience of Canadian identity. Beyond politics and economics, Canada's strength lies in its people, a diverse, resourceful, and resilient population that has weathered countless storms and emerged stronger every time. From Indigenous leadership to the waves of immigrants who shaped this nation's character, Canada's identity is a tapestry of resilience and determination. A call to unity and action. Canada's future lies in its ability to remain steadfast in its values. Just as our ancestors defended our land and principles during the War of 1812, we too must rise to today's challenges with courage, determination, and an unyielding resolve. To our southern neighbors, we extend a hand of partnership, not submission. Canada's independence is not up for negotiation. Our history, present, and future are testaments to a nation that values sovereignty, embraces diversity, and faces adversity head-on. Canada doesn't need to be the 51st state. Canada is, and always will be, strong and free. As we move forward, let us remember that our strength lies not only in our resources or alliances but in our people, our history, and our unwavering belief in our ability to stand tall and proud. It is this steadfast resolve that will guide us through future challenges and ensure that Canada's legacy remains one of independence and strength.